Oh, Hillary, you done did it now. You done did it now. Look now. Tulsi Gabbard gave Hillary Clinton ample time to apologize for claiming that Tulsi was a Russian asset. And apparently, her attorneys have decided Hillary's time's up. It's time to sue. Let's talk about it. So I'm sure that you all recall when Hillary Clinton decided to attack Tulsi Gabbard, and Tulsi threatened a lawsuit, and she made it very clear what the parameters of the prevention of the lawsuit would be. Basically, you need to apologize, you need to retract your statements, and you need to get over it, right? You're not running, Tulsi is. And I'm sure you all recall the exchange between the two, where Tulsi called Hillary Clinton the queen of the warmongers, and also said that she needs to stop running against Hillary Clinton, or excuse me, that Hillary needs to stop running against Tulsi through her proxies and join the race if she really wants to be president and really wants to be in the Oval Office. Because now I feel like it's much more clear, right? That's exactly what Hillary has been doing. It's running through her proxies. So Tulsi gave Hillary Clinton an allotted time, so this lawsuit really shouldn't surprise anybody. The only reason it would surprise you, in my humble opinion, is if you thought that Tulsi Gabbard didn't keep her word when she said she was going to do something. And I feel like Tulsi has set a pretty damn good track record of keeping her word. All right, so let's check out this article detailing the lawsuit and Tulsi Gabbard's reasons for doing it. So it says, this is from The Hill. Representative Tulsi Gabbard said Thursday that she filed a defamation lawsuit against Hillary Clinton because the former Secretary of State tried to destroy her reputation by suggesting that she is a Russian asset. Tulsi says, if Hillary Clinton and her allies can successfully destroy my reputation, even though I'm a war veteran and a sitting member of Congress, they can do it to anybody. Gabbard, a 2020 presidential candidate, said in a statement, I will not allow this blatant effort to intimidate me and other patriotic Americans to go in silence. I will not allow this blatant effort to intimidate me and other patriotic Americans into silence go unchallenged. In the defamation lawsuit filed Wednesday in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, Gabbard alleged that Clinton's remarks smeared her political and personal reputation. Lawyers for Gabbard also alleged that Clinton's characterizations of Gabbard served as retribution for the Congresswoman's decision to endorse Senator Bernie Sanders during the 2016 Democratic presidential primary. Gabbard is claiming to have suffered damages that exceed more than $50 million. Go ahead and get that money, young woman. Whoa, let me have $1, please. Just $1, just one. All right. In response to the lawsuit, Clinton spokesperson Nick Merrill said, "That's ridiculous." Wow. That was anticlimactic. All right. It's crazy how, because when Hillary gets in front of a camera, she has so much to say. And then when she's challenged about what she said on camera, that's ridiculous. I never said that. What? She got 2 words versus a whole paragraph. Isn't that interesting? Gabbard's allegations zero in on comments Clinton made while appearing on a podcast hosted by former President Obama's 2008 campaign manager David Plouffe in October. As she discussed the upcoming 2020 election, Clinton suggests that Republicans were grooming. No, that's not what was suggested. Clinton suggested that Putin specifically, was grooming a Democratic presidential candidate for a third-party bid. Why did this article straight up lie? Unless it was a typo, which I don't think it was. But Clinton did not suggest a Republican was grooming Tulsi, but literally Vladimir Putin and Russians. Those were her words. And she also claimed that the candidate had become a favorite of the Russians. And these are Clinton's words. She's a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset. Clinton, the 2016 Democratic presidential nominee, said, referencing the 2016 Green Party presidential candidate, yeah, she's a Russian asset. I mean, totally. They know they can't win without a third-party candidate, Clinton added. She did not mention Gabbard's name, though it was widely interpreted to be a reference to the lawmaker. I mean, who else were you talking about? You weren't talking about any of your candidates, and you said her. So who else were you talking about? And you made sure that you were not discussing Jill Stein, by the way. She made sure she was not discussing Jill Stein. All right. So what a world we live in. What a world we live in. Because in my lifetime, I feel like we've had way too many candidates claiming to be allies of the people, but they can't even defend themselves. And what Tulsi Gabbard said is right. If Hillary and others can do this to her, they can do this to anybody. You want to know how I know? I'm a victim of this. I've been smeared in, was it The Hill? I don't think it was The Hill. No, Huffington Post. I was smeared in Huffington Post. Once again, they attacked my character. They ignored anything and everything that was actually said, or they twisted what was actually said from my words and spun it however they wanted to. And they would link the video, but of course, who watches the videos? They're just gonna assume because you were brave enough to link the video to anything I might have said that what you're saying holds true. Granted, it did give me a bunch of subscribers, so I can't complain too much. Like, that interaction with Hillary did help Tulsi to a degree, but in the long run, that ultimately has been used as a consistent and regular smear against Tulsi with absolutely no verifiable proof. And so Tulsi is absolutely right. If it could happen to a sitting congresswoman, to a veteran, to an officer, to a wartime veteran, to a member of the Armed Services Committee, to a former member of the Council of Foreign Relations, to a former member of the Committee of Foreign Affairs, it can happen to any of us. But there is a greater thing that I think should not go unnoticed, which is how many times in our lifetime have we seen candidate after candidate after candidate after politician after politician after public figure come where they claim they're going to be a fighter for the American people. That's what they claim. They claim they're going to defend us. They claim that they're going to speak up for us, those who do not have as loud of a microphone as these politicians do. But then when it comes time to defend themselves, well, they just ignore. They kind of like, oh, I'm bigger than that. It's fine. I'm bigger than that. If you're punching down, I understand it. But in most cases, these politicians should be and would be punching up. But that's not what takes place. Tulsi Gabbard once again sets herself apart in this regard because, well, if you can't defend yourself against the elites, if you can't defend yourself against the powerful, if you can't defend yourself against blatant and open and shut case of corruption coming from these types of people like Hillary Clinton, then how the hell are you going to get in the White House and defend the entire country against corruption? How can we possibly trust you to fight for us when you won't fight for yourself? And that is once again one thing that has set Tulsi Gabbard apart. And I hope she continues to set herself apart in that regard. I'm glad she's showing up. This is one of the reasons why they're trying to shut Tulsi Gabbard out of the race early. And if you need to know what her path to victory looks like, you can go click on my video, and I have a video called Tulsi's Path to Victory. And you'll know why they're doing what they're doing, because if Tulsi gains any momentum, then I think that it's pretty clear that she will take off like wildfire, and they know that. We don't have to guess how that looks, because when Bernie was barely raising any money before Iowa, he was raising a good amount of money. It's funny to me because like Tulsi's been raising about 3 million. She just broke her fundraising record. I think it's like 3.5 million a quarter. And I remember when Bernie first started, that was roughly like around that time, around there is what he was getting. And that was like a lot of money to us. We couldn't even believe he was raising that much. And now that Tulsi's doing it, people are like, well, that's not that much money. But it's funny because that is a lot of money for somebody who is literally doing nothing but grassroots and barely has, she has the entire establishment railing against her, and yet she's still raising that much money despite having her name smeared every single day. Now they know that will grow exponentially if she catches fire. So they're nipping it in the bud. If she does well in Iowa, if she does well in New Hampshire, any of those states, it's over. She's not slowing down, and that is why they're doing what they're doing. They have to defame her character because they can't go after her policies. Any bad thing that Tulsi has done, anything that we as progressives or anti-war progressives would disagree with, they co-signed. So they can't attack her own policy. They have to go after her character. They have to build They have to build distrust. They have to sow the seeds of distrust because you can't get her on policy. And oftentimes, unfortunately, this is worked on progressives, where they tout the trope where, oh well, I just, she's good on some things, but I don't know, I just don't trust her. I just don't trust her. Why? Because the establishment told you not to? Because that's really what it is when it comes down to it. It's the establishment and the wannabe establishments. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Those are the ones who sowed the seeds of distrust, because the facts could not have done that for you. So they're trying to kill her campaign early. But I got some news for Hillary Clinton. Once again, and not just Hillary Clinton, but the establishment. Once again, she has proven they're trying to kill her campaign early because of things like this. Because when Google tried to screw her over, she responded immediately. When Hillary tried to screw her over, she responded immediately. Now imagine if the DNC tries to cheat. Either her, really, or Bernie Sanders. Or anybody. Because Tulsi speaks up. She spoke up for Marianne Williamson. She would speak up for Andrew Yang. She obviously has spoken up for Bernie Sanders. So, and by the way, don't think it went unnoticed that once again Tulsi immediately came to the defense of Bernie. Immediately came to the defense of Bernie Sanders again. But people still wondering if they can trust her or not. I don't have to wonder what Tulsi's going to say. I know what she's going to do. And they know too. She's proving and she's setting the standard now that, okay, screw me over if you want to. Screw progressives over again if you want to. Just know, you will deal with the consequences. I will not let it go by the wayside. I'm not going to ignore it. I know you've grown accustomed to that, where progressives get screwed and they're a little bit quiet about it. Whether we want to talk about Tiffany Caban in New York, whether you want to talk about, what's her name from New York State, where she was running against Andrew Cuomo. I know who I'm talking about. There are a lot of progressives who've gotten cheated, and they've been rather quiet about it because the Dems just tell them to move on. Well, that's not Tulsi Gabbard, and that's why they're terrified of her. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. We still have the open lawsuit against Google, and if they want to cheat Tulsi Gabbard in the primaries, well, I guess we're going to have an open lawsuit against the DNC. That would be 2 lawsuits against the DNC in 2 primaries straight. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into that live stream segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Would love to know what your thoughts are about this. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Also, make sure you subscribe to us on Rockfin as well. But more than anything else, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, find your balance. Peace. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Of course, if YouTube is giving you trouble, as it always does, you can download the Rockfin app and follow us there. Also, if you want to continue to help our show grow, you can help us reach our goal of 500 patrons on Patreon and donate as little as $1. Really, anything helps. Other than that, always remember, people, more than anything else, find your balance.